Hello, happy crocheters. This is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this very easy fox hat. If you like this tutorial, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. For this pattern, you're going to need size 4 yarn in both orange and white and a 5mm or a size H crochet hook. I'm going to be making a toddler size hat here, but there are instructions on the written pattern for how to make anything from a baby to an adult size hat. The link to the written pattern is in the description box below, and I've placed all the adjustments for the different sizes in a chart format, so even if you can't read a pattern, you should hopefully still be able to figure out how to adjust this pattern to different sizes. So we are going to go ahead and start with our orange yarn, and we are just going to make a slip knot and begin chaining. We are going to need to chain 31 for the toddler size hat. Once you have your 31 chain, we are going to single crochet into second chain from the hook. We're going to single crochet in every chain along this row. We are going to work the first 18 single crochet in orange, then change colors and work the last 12 single crochet in white. And I apologize, I lost a little bit of video, and I will show you how to change colors if you don't know how to as we work the second row. We are at the end of row 1, and as you can see, we worked a few stitches in white. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to work all of the white stitches as single crochets in the back loop only. So to do that, you'll go down to the center of the top of the stitch and out the back, yarn over and pull up a loop and complete your single crochet. Again, through the center of the stitch and out the back, and create your single crochet. And we're going to do this for every stitch that is white. When you reach your last stitch, we're going to pull up that loop in white, and then we are going to yarn over with our orange. So it's going to cross over the front and then yarn over and use that to finish our last single crochet. That is how you change colors. So for now on, we are going to work normal single crochets in the last 18 stitches. So we'll have a nice ribbed edge in the white and then a smoother stitch for the orange. Here we are at the end of row 3. We're going to chain 1 and turn and basically work that same row but in reverse. So we'll start with 18 single crochets in orange. When we reach the last orange stitch, we're going to change colors to white. So all you do is take the white, cross it over the front, and yarn over that last yarn over to complete the stitch with white. And now working in the white stitches, we're going to single crochet into the back loop only for the last 12 stitches. So this pattern is just a 2-row repeat. You will continue repeating rows 2 and 3 until you have the total number of rows you need for the size hat you are making. I am making a toddler size hat, so I'm going to need 70 rows total. Once I complete those 70 rows, I'll show you how to finish off your fox hat. So I have completed my 70 rows, and I have fastened off my orange yarn using a really long yarn end, and I'm going to do the same with the white. And to fasten off, you just cut your yarn over and pull through the very last loop on your hook and pull tight to create a knot. And we're going to use these 2 yarn ends to sew up our hat. So the first thing we're going to do is just to take our 2 ends and fold them together to make a tube. We're going to sew up right up the center. I'm going to start with my white yarn end, and I'm going to be using something called an invisible stitch. And you're going to see that I'm going to be sewing the top of our last row to the top of our first row. And the reason I'm going into the top of the row instead of the bottom of the row is to hide that orange chain. If you don't know how to do the invisible stitch and you want a little bit clearer instructions, I have a video for that and I will link to it above. But it's basically just a zigzag stitch back and forth through these stitches so that we can hide that orange chain. So when I finish with my white, I'm just going to knot that to my orange yarn, and I will sew in that white end later. And I'm going to put the needle on my orange yarn, and I'm just going to whip stitch the rest of this hat until we reach the top. So once we made it all the way to the top, all we need to do is use another whip stitch, and we're going to sew the top shut, just kind of like it's a pillowcase where the bottom will be open and the other three sides will be closed. And I'm going to go over to one side and then back over all the way to the other side until this is completely closed. So once we make it all the way to the end, all I need to do is knot this to secure it. So I'm going to twist my loop, pull it through, and then I will just twist it again to make another knot, and then I will weave in that end. And now we're ready to make some ears. We're just going to be making some ears by running a few diagonal gathering stitches along the side. So I'm just taking a new strand of yarn, and just in this very small section in the side, I am going to run a gathering stitch from the side up to the top of the hat. I'd say it's probably about an inch or so, inch and a half at the most, into the hat on both sides. And then I'm going to run a gathering stitch right back down to the side of the hat. And from here, you're just going to take both yarn ends and pull gently, not too much, just enough to make it look like an ear. We're going to knot those two yarn ends together, and then we can weave in those ends and repeat the same process for the other ear. So just clip my yarn and weave those in after I do the other ear. Now this hat is already really cute as it is, but if you want to up the cute factor just a little bit more, you can add a tiny felt nose and little whiskers using some felt and a little bit of embroidery thread. That is completely up to you, but otherwise your hat is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you liked this easy crochet fox hat. And as always, thank you so much for watching.